All right, guys, how's it going? So, is Arne Slot going to be a yes man for FSG at Liverpool Football Club if he is appointed not manager, head coach, right? And that's the reason why I'm making the video. So I've seen some of you guys in the comments mention, the fact that he would be a head coach, or that's how they're referring to him. Does that mean then that he's being put in position to do as he's fucking told, basically? And I'm wondering what you think about that. FSG do not like to bring in powerful people, right? They definitely do not. I think that's why they got rid of Kenny Dalglish, because if you remember at the time, there were a lot of suggestions that they were going to cut costs and there was going to be big changes, and that Dalglish probably wouldn't go along with it, would be unhappy about it. And obviously had a huge, fucking connection with the fans. So if he's not on side and the fans get a whiff of it, they'll be fucking hell on. And it's also suggested that's why they didn't consider ever bringing back Rafa at the time. Rafa, as Tom Hicks would call him. Because Rafa's not the sort of person that will be fucking told what to do either. And then we ended up having people like Brendan Rodgers, right? Do you know what I mean? A young manager being schooled, can't really challenge anyone, knock on their door and say, do you know who the fuck I am, right? You might say, yeah, but they brought in Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, Jurgen Klopp is powerful with the fans now, but he wasn't when he first came in. He was obviously highly rated and we wanted him to be manager, but he was like so proud to get the job. Do you know what I mean? And he fell into their way of thinking, didn't he? Can you hear that noise? It's my lounge being hoovered right above my head. It's a true story. No need for that, is there? That noise. See, we don't have carpets here in Spain. We have tiles. So it's like, anyway, but if you hear a noise, that's what it is. So FSG don't like people like that. That's when people say, do you think Jose Mourinho could get the job? You'd be like, Jose's so powerful. Do you really think they would give him the job? And people said, Zidane, what about Zidane? Again, massive personality, ego, like the man. Do you know what I mean? This is Zinedine Zidane you'd be talking about. Whether you rate him as a manager or not, he's a fucking big deal. And they don't want people like that, So when you look at Ruben Amorim coming in, or Xabi Alonso coming in, right? What should I say, when we previously looked at the possibilities of those happening? In my opinion, those are two managers that want to call the shots. They don't want to be told this, that, and the other. We're told, or the rumour is, that Edwards left the club the first time around because Jurgen Klopp was like, hang on a minute, I'm the fucking gaffer. I should be making the final say on certain things. And the suggestion is that Edwards has come back knowing that Klopp was off, right? So, and look how he wanted control, yeah? All the talk about Edwards coming back, right, it's all about how much control he would be given. He didn't want to come back as just a sporting director or football director or whatever fancy title they want to give him. He wanted to come back as the main man, right? So if he wants full control, any managerial candidate surely has to do as he's told, in the terms of, well, this is the structure, this is the football structure, this is how we're going to operate. We've got the main man, for FSG football operations around the world, right? And then we've got underneath him a sporting director, and you will work within what the situation is. Now, whichever football club you're employed by, or any company, whatever your profession, if you are offered a job, it's not just about salary. It's about working conditions and who you answer to and stuff like that. And some of these managers might go, nah, you're all right, thanks. I can go and cut it somewhere else. So, and I do wonder, and it's kind of like just a personal opinion, I can't back it up, but I kind of think that the Alonso vibe about coming to Liverpool all changed when Edwards was confirmed back at the club. I really do. Amorim, I suspect that he would want to be one of those managers, a manager, there you go, that would want to have, more or less complete control. I mean, a manager still has to do as he's told, whoever you are. Do you know what I mean? But I think there's a difference between a manager and a head coach. I'm not saying that Amorim's not gone for the job or anything because of that. It sounds like, they're miles apart on the working salary maybe. If he wants 10 million a year net, that's insane. And the signing on fee, there'd be an agent's fee. and up to 20 million euros in compensation or a trigger or whatever to get him out of that contract. That's really fucking expensive, do you know what I mean? So then you've got Liverpool can look at this Slot chap who I don't know anything about him, I've got to be honest with you. I never fucking heard of him until recently. So don't be thinking, oh God, oh yeah, I know who he is. Yeah. I've never fucking heard of him. I don't give a fuck about Dutch football or anything like that. I couldn't care less. Right? Who gives a fuck about... Anyway, I've been following more Portuguese football recently, seeing how Sporting are getting on and that. It sounds a little bit more exciting. I know some people say, well, Portuguese league, Dutch league. Portuguese league sounds a bit more exciting, to be honest with you. No offence if you're from, out that way, do you know what I mean? Because I like cheese and that, you know what I'm saying? And I like them Anyway, so... Head coach, yeah? Can't believe he's looked at getting the fucking... Oh, here he comes. Can't believe he's looked at getting offered the job by the sounds of things, because everything I'm hearing... hang on, I need to rephrase that. Everything I'm hearing makes it sound like someone's telling me something. I don't mean that. Everything we are reading or hearing suggests that he's always very keen. He's very keen for this. Yeah, Ben fucking is. So... listen, at the end of the day, right, you could appoint Alonso or Amorim, two of the hottest and highest rated young managers in Europe, and they could bomb miserably at Liverpool. You could appoint this chap that everyone's like, oh, great, here we fucking go, right? And he might be the best thing since sliced bread, although sliced bread is fucking really nice. Toast is nice, isn't it? Who thought to cook bread again? They're a fucking genius, whoever thought that. Anyway, so are we looking at a situation here where we have, to call someone a yes man, I think is very, I don't know, offensive, I think. I don't think I'd like to be called a yes man, but nobody could ever call me that, because I would never do as I'm told by anyone. Well, I did my mum, and I guess I would have done the Queen, if you were in court or something, the Majesty's Court and that, do as you're told then, and God. That's it. Mum, Queen, God. I guess it's King now, but yeah, anyway, in that order. Anybody else? No, I'm not doing as I'm told by anyone. But, some people thought Jurgen was a bit of a yes man, to be honest with you, because he went along with it, didn't it? You know what I'm saying? With FSG's working environment, which he knew the terms when he accepted the job. So you can't accept the terms of a job and then later go, hang on, this ain't on. Although in fairness, I think that Jurgen, after everything he did for the club and the valuation, that he increased that club and everything, he had every right to go banging on a door going, I'm going to fuck you, mate. Have you seen what I've done? But he didn't, because he's a respectful gentleman. Does that make him a yes man? So, I do not like what I'm hearing about the title of head coach. And maybe that's just because I'm old school. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you want to tell me you're a young, trendy football fan. This is European football, big dunk. This is how it goes now. Do you know what I mean? Why does it go like that? Don't have to go like that. I want a manager that's in place, right? That's his players, his signings, his decisions. Now, of course, at some point, there has to be somebody making financial decisions, yeah? But, at Liverpool, traditionally over the years, during the most successful decades of our club, the manager would say to the chief executive, I want that player from wherever. And the chief executive would report to the board and say the manager wants whoever, and the board then decided whether or not to pursue that to make the finances available, and it was always yes. Do you know what I mean? Have you heard that dog? Oi! You're going to Knacker's yard? That's how Liverpool operated. There wasn't a so-called transfer budget or transfer kitty. The manager wanted a player. The chief executive reported it to the board. Hello, only joking. And then it happened. When you've got a head coach, sometimes it can be a case where I think that the director of football thinks that they're the ones that should be signing the players and saying, here's these players, you need to work with them. I'm not for 1 minute suggesting that. I'm just trying to create debate and to try and find out what you think. Maybe you can settle my concerns a little bit. We don't know what the working environment is, but we're also not thick when it comes to FSG, so we shouldn't be a bit naive. But I don't know if I've said it in this video or not, because I tried recording it earlier. I'm just like, I can't believe that, you know, Michael Edwards somehow appears to be Mr. Liverpool Football Club, you know what I mean? If it works in our favour, fine, absolute genius. But it seems to be a case where it's so far, and you might not like me saying this, but so far it seems to be jobs for friends and that, you know what I mean? And maybe they are very highly rated people. But when I look at some of the CVs of these people, I don't think they're that fucking good. But I'm also someone in life that believes everyone deserves a chance. Because if you always had a, you know, snotty attitude, a stuck-up attitude, no one would get anywhere in life, you know? So I'm all for letting people, you know, progress and test themselves and everything. But I've got to be honest with you, with the appointments I've seen and what it looks like, what might happen on the I can't even say managerial front now, on the head coach front, it just doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. But I'm allowed to feel like that. I'm not being one of these negative Nellies. I've seen them on social media. Oh, we're going to be a mid-table club now. We don't know that. We might be fucking amazing. But at the same time, I'm not exactly, you know, buzzing with what I'm seeing so far. And that's just my opinion. It's how I feel. And I'm allowed to feel like that. But at the same time, don't caps lock me to death and tell me, you know, oh, you know what I mean? Because I'm not saying that we're going to implode or something. I'm just saying I feel a bit underwhelmed to go from, you know, two of the highest rated managers in Europe to this chap. And he might be fucking great. He might be great, and they could have been terrible. So I completely acknowledge that. Anyway, the reason for the video was to say to you, do you think they're looking at this guy as being a head coach so that he'll just be put in his place, like, not in a disrespectful way, I mean, just put in his job, and because this is the way that Edwards wants to run the club? I find it so meh at the moment. Like, why is it all so fucking complicated? Do you know what I mean? Head of football operations for the organisation for buying another fucking football club. I don't want to buy that. You know, football director, head coach. Can't we just get, right, a chief executive, right, a football man, a chief executive, right, and a football manager, and just fucking get on with it? Liverpool Football Club just seems to do everything so fucking complicated. It's like they're trying to be something spectacular, which is great, but it just sounds a bit complicated at times. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a bag of wind on the pitch and 22 players and a manager that can outwit the opposition, which, if backed, will do his best at doing that. But it seems like they're more focused on the whole organisation here of, right, we're going to do this at Liverpool, so we're going to have this big cheese, Michael Edwards, he's going to be the main man over the football clubs, plural. And at each club, we're going to have a head coach and a head coach, and like a little triangle of these different appointments, and mirror them at each club. Like trying to be a fucking franchise, if you like. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, if you can think of KFC or Burger King or out like that, miserable Martin, it'll be like, what, KFC, Burger King? Check out Red Raw LFC, search his YouTube channel, go and check him out. You know, they're all the same, aren't they? So, you know, like, same menu, same management, same structure, everything. Is that what they're trying to do with Liverpool Football Club and the next club that they buy, then maybe another club that they buy? It just all seems complicated, and it's all about the wrong reasons for me. I've got to be honest with you, it's all about the wrong reasons for me. What do I want to buy another football club for? Because they love the football club they already fucking have. Don't make me laugh. If you love a football club, you love one club and that's it. They don't love the club, they love the money from it. And they think that they can try and replicate it somewhere else, go somewhere else to another league and say, look what we're doing at Liverpool. Look, we've got a director of football and a head coach there, you know. Yeah, we don't just have a manager and a chief executive, right? And then try and become influential in another league, try and get some power, try and, you know, exploit every revenue opportunity there is going. I think you might work out from this video that I'm just a little bit, I don't know. I'm not meh because of this manager, this possible appointment of this head coach, because he could turn out to be fucking brilliant, right? He really could. And I'm not the sort of person, I'm not one of them fans that will just write him off because we don't know anything about him, I'm just not like that. Like, I really do like people that succeed in life that have come from nowhere, or maybe a reasonable, they've done a little bit, apparently he's done a bit of business or whatever, right? I like people that then go on to better things that are given a chance, right? But it's not that I'm feeling a bit meh about. I think it's just making me, because I'm seeing this head coach thing, I think it's making me think about Edwards and this football, operations and what they want to do elsewhere, and they want to mirror it, and they're trying to put everything in place at Liverpool, then they're going to do it there. It's made me think more about the ownership. And I just think that once you start, complicating things, it's just a game of football, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I really, really shouldn't be negative at all. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be like that. I'm not saying it's going to bomb or fail or anything. It could all work out amazing. But I'm a little bit underwhelmed how Liverpool Football Club has failed so far to attract what many people in the game at other clubs, would say is an amazing manager somewhere, someone like a prestige elite manager. And so far, we've not done that. And it's got echoes of Brendan Rodgers all over again. And we were fed all this before, up and coming, manager, and just needs a chance to step up, I'd won fuck all when you look at his CV, really. And then he was put into this job at Liverpool. He did all right, but you know exactly what I mean. It's like Liverpool, they're terrified of appointing a big name or something, and you know why that is. And this is the point I'm trying to make. It's because a big name means big money and means big power. And that goes against what FSG want within their organisation. Yes man. Do you think he could be a potential yes man in the making? Again, I will say this one more time. He could turn out to be a brilliant head coach. We're not here to slate the guy. It's a reasonable question to ask. Is that why they're looking at this chap? If you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. It doesn't mean you agree with me or the contents within it. Please leave me a comment. That's the most important thing you can do. If you want to buy me a cup of tea, because I'm off the coffee at the moment a little bit because I'm trying to sleep, or a beer, you can hit the super thanks button. Please read the video description. Join my newsletter. Join my chat room. It's all free. Just jump in there, man. You've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that you see in the comments in the chat room right now talking about everything, and I think you would like it. All right, guys, take care, and we'll speak real soon.